Okay, let's get started with number 7 from exam 1. Let f of x equal 3 over x. Find a formula for f prime by evaluating the following limit. Because the derivative is defined as a limit, remember that we have, let me write it over here, that f prime of a is actually the limit of f of a plus h minus f of a all over h, as h goes to 0. So what we're going to do is evaluate that, and it's already set up. This is f of a plus h. This is f of a. Okay, now the goal here is, notice our goal, well, let me start over. The goal is to let h equal 0. Now if we do that on the bottom, we're going to get 0, and that's already bad. If we let h equal 0 on top, we're going to get 3 over a minus 3 over a. That's 0. Bad, but it's 0 over 0, which is good because it means we can do something. So let me write this out again. So limit 3 over a plus h, 3 over a, all over h. Okay, so what can we do? Well, there's two different ways of going about this. One way is to combine these two fractions on top, so you can have one fraction. We're going to skip a step, and what we're going to do is we're just going to multiply top and bottom by a and a plus h. Because that's how you would combine these two fractions anyways, is we would use the common denominator, which would be a and a plus h. So if we just multiply top and bottom by that, we'll take care of that right away. So what happens when you take this term and you multiply it in over here? Well, the a plus h's will cancel. And what we're going to be left with is just 3a. Because when you multiply in the a plus h, it'll cancel with this a plus h. Sorry if you can hear my dogs barking. Okay. Now if you multiply in this, the second term, the a's will cancel, leaving me 3 and then the a plus h. Now on the bottom, we're just going to multiply all these together. Nothing's going to cancel, so we're going to get a, let me rewrite it like this. H times a plus h. Now do not cancel these, that's not how it works. Our goal was to simplify the top before canceling, if anything, on the bottom. Okay, so notice we're going to have 3a, then we're going to have a minus another 3a, because I'm going to distribute this negative. And if we distribute the negative 3 to h, we're going to get negative 3h. Okay. What happens to the 3a's? They'll go away, and you're left with, on the top, negative 3h over h, a plus h. Well, that's good because we got one term on the top, one term on the bottom. These h's will divide out, and we're left with negative 3 over a plus h. There you go. Now when we let h equal 0, we're going to get negative 3 over, and then when h is 0, we're going to get a times a. So it's a squared. So f prime of a, so this is f prime of, let me write it up here. F prime of a is negative 3 over a squared. Okay. Now you can, got a text. Rewind this and watch it again, but what we're doing is we have this goal that I want to plug in h equals 0, but I can't because I get 0 over 0. So my goal is to simplify the top so that I can get an h to factor out, cancel with the h on the bottom, which I did, which is right here. Alright, so that was 3a, or 7a. Let me just go get 7b. Find the equation of the tangent line. Alright, well, in order to find the tangent line, we needed a couple different things. We needed the slope and a point. Okay, so let's work on the slope first. I needed the slope at x equals 3. Now let me just write down the point. That's 3, 1. So when x equals 3, that's my point. So the slope, well, we just found in 7a that the formula for the slope is negative 3 over a squared. So f prime of 3, because that's the point I want, that's going to be negative 3 over 3 squared, negative 3 over 9, negative 1/3. Great. Next, I'm going to use the point-slope formula. Because I needed a point, and I needed a slope. I have both now. Now that's y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. Now y1 is the y value, which is 1. M is my slope, which is negative 1/3. And that's x minus x1, which is 3. So that's y minus 1. And then distribute in the negative 1/3. Double negative, so make sure you catch that. And finally, add 1 to both sides. So we're going to get y equals negative 1/3 x plus 2. Now you should double check this just to make sure. Since my 0.31, or the 0.31 has to be on this line, plug it in. So if we plug in 3 here, we're going to get negative 1 plus 2, which is 1, so that worked. And does it have slope negative 1/3? Yeah, because the slope is the number in front of the x. So, my tangent line.